Let's talk about Chiron entering Taurus. If you see here, Chiron here is at 29 degrees in Aries. There is an urgency to shut things down for as the healing of the self, or being a leader, or being an entrepreneur, or starting something new, being brave and impulsive. Okay. Now, with Chiron entering Taurus, let me see. I'm putting down my notes. Chiron moves much slower. Okay. And it is, okay, wait, Chiron moves much slower than the personal planets and much faster than Pluto. On an average, Chiron spends 4 to 9 years in each sign, depending on the orbit and the retro, if it retrogrades, how often it retrogrades. Chiron entering Taurus begins years long journey of healing in relationships with security, money, finances, our self-worth, survival, tangible things. Okay, because Taurus is all about tangible things, bank systems, stability. Get ready for that. Chiron entering Taurus begins a collective journey with our money, with our security, with our self-worth, with our stability. Very protective, very stubborn, doesn't like change. The healing with traditions, things that are very traditional as well. Now, in Chiron in Aries, it's all about healing the self. It's all about your identity, your independence, healing your body, having courage, having some confidence. Now that energy is going to change to a very slow paced. And not only that, because Aries is very fast, so like healing with being fast too, but also with something new. Right? Taurus doesn't like anything new. It likes things to be very traditional. It likes things that are very stable. It likes finances. It likes resources. It likes trust. And it really likes to heal the self-worth and personal values. So we, as a collective, but individually, there is going to be a lot of themes of healing your relationship with your money. Okay? What you value. Your resources. Am I financially secure? Do I believe I deserve abundance? What are my financial fears? Okay. Self-worth also becomes more important, because when you are lacking in the resources, you start to take care of what you really value. You pay attention to what you truly value, right? So your value doesn't come from what you produce. Your value doesn't come from what others think of you. Your value doesn't come from what you own. The healing journey becomes learning your worth from within. So a lot of that. Who's excited about that? Raise your. I'm excited about that. Okay. So security is also going to be redefined while Chiron's in Taurus. There will be some job changes. There will be relationships changing. There will be things that are very tangible. The homeland, the earth, that stuff. Healing through herbs. That will be bigger. I really love herbology. Okay, I always fall into that hole of TikTok every time. So a lot of that true security comes from adaptability rather than control. But with Taurus, it doesn't really want to be adaptable. It wants to stick with traditional things. So get ready for going back to the traditions. What are the traditions of things? That could be going home, or what did your grandmother do? What did your, instead of listening to this doctor who uses AI. I'm just using examples, okay? Scarcity mindset. That will be a more healing kind of thing, like not having enough, losing money, survival, stability, your farmland, your tangible land, physical things that you own, that hoarding kind of energy. That would be healing, healing the body through physical wellness, natural healing, touching the earth, going out and being in the sun and being with leaves and talking to the trees, a lot of nutrition, slowing down, reconnecting with the body. All that is going to happen personally. Now, collectively, Taurus rules money. It rules the banking system. It rules agriculture, resources, and wealth. Chiron entering in Taurus is going to expose a lot of weaknesses in economic systems. Again, the housing costs and finances and what we deem as valuable, tangible, that will start to change. Okay. Resource distribution. If you thought the tariffs were big, Chiron's in Taurus, so there's going to be some healing in that. Chiron doesn't just represent healing, it also represents the victim. So a lot of people will be feeling like they are the victim within these things. A lot of people feel like they are the victim when it was in Aries with their body and their physical body, are people being impulsive or people moving fast. There was a lot of victim energy with that. Now there will be some victim energy with resources and the distribution of resources, food supply, land, natural resources, wealth and inequality. how wealth won't be balanced. Okay, nature and being what was I? What is it called when you are eco-friendly? There's another word for it. I can't think of it. But Taurus is deeply connected to the earth. So environmental, sustaining environmental energy, farming, food production, natural resources. Are the plug up cards really good for nature? Is AI really good for nature? Those things will be stronger than ever. Get ready for that, okay? So, again, to wrap it up, we are going to be talking about healing, not talking about working on unconsciously, because God has put this energy in the sky and we don't even have to plan to work on it. Someone is going to walk up to us one day and say, you know what? Or just something's going to fall in your lap, symbolically or physically, okay? And there's going to be healing on the self-worth, your money, your financial security, your stability, what you value, your physical body, the earth, treating your land better, working with nature, yes, and trusting things, and just tangible items and resources, and finding beauty in that too. Are you being lazy? Taurus energy likes to be super lazy. It really likes to touch all of the senses. So like what you see, what you smell, healing yourself through smell, healing yourself through sight, healing yourself through feeling. All that will be happening when Chiron's in Taurus. And then also too, on a mundane collective astrology, a lot of healing with the banking systems, with inflation, affording your tangible things like housing, or your physical health, food supply, natural resources, agriculture, and the economy. Now, who's going to be feeling the most? A lot of people who are going to get the most healing, right, are the Tauruses. Chiron in Taurus is all about you, right? So you're going to be feeling the most energy. Scorpios, there is some tension here. Relationships and trust issues may be highlighted here. A lot of healing through that. All of you guys will be feeling it because Chiron will be moving in Taurus eventually, okay? But these are over the years. Leo, of course, is going to be affecting you because it's all about you all the time, right? But if you have Leo placements, there's some healing with that. So let's say you have a Leo in Mercury and Chiron starts to touch that. Well, there's going to be a challenge in how you talk, or you being on stage, or you thinking selfishly all about you, right? There's going to be some healing with that. And it's going to be very stubborn and doesn't want to change when I address all these people. In Aquarius, lastly, this is going to be affecting you in a big way, in a negative way. There is going to be some challenges there, but the negative turns into positive if you just learn the lesson and you do the healing, right? But Aquarius might be more involving your home, your security, and your stability. Just get ready for that. Who is this going to work well with, right? All my earth signs. Okay, Virgos, you are going to have a field day. You're going to be healing the most. Okay, so all my Virgo placements, best for you. Capricorn placements, best for you. I have no earth in my natal chart, but Chiron and Taurus did affect everyone. It moves in different planets. I should do the rising signs quickly. Let me do them now. Okay, so should I start from the beginning? Let's start from the beginning. So I won't forget. I have to look it up on here or I will skip someone. Okay. So Chiron in Taurus. Where's my Chiron in Taurus is of course Aries. Aries risings. This is going to affect a lot of healing when it comes to your finances, your self-worth, everything that I already said. Anytime you hear the predictions in my videos, or mostly anyone, you kind of don't need to look up. When they do the general predictions, you don't really need to look up your rising sign because it is in the house of what it relates to, okay? But everything that I said earlier, Aries, this is going to affect you with your finances, what you deem valuable. Could be some healing of the voice too, the throat. All my Tauruses, this is your physical body. There's going to be healing with that, how people see you, how they view you. There is some healing, and maybe very traditional healing, or maybe using herbs or natural resources for you. Now, all of my Gemini placements, Chiron and Taurus, is going to be some healing when it comes to solitude, spirituality, some closures, some endings. That will be some healing for you. Now, all of my Cancer risings and Cancer placements. This is going to be healing through friendships, through network, through your future, your hopes and dreams, and technology, believe it or not. It's very traditional, but yet there's something futuristic happening through tradition. That would be some value healing for you. Now, all of my Leo placements, the healings are going to be happening with you socially and your social image. Not socially. That was more Gemini's, but more Cancers. This is going to be more your self-image. I was saying socially. Your self-image and you at work, your career, okay? You on a public stage. There's some healing there. You might be playing victim as well. All of the placements could be playing victim. And Virgos, this is going to be some healing when it comes to traveling, higher education, your philosophy, thinking bigger, expanding, even producing more, the World Wide Web. There's some healing with that. And then we have Libra placements. There's going to be strong healing, transformation, rebirth. This could also be a death. There's a healing when someone dies. There is a transformation happening. There's some healing with things dealing that are very taboo. You're talking about the trash man, the prostitute, the tarot reader. Things that seem taboo with society. There could be some healing there for you. Also, too, shared resources. Things that you like taxes and loans or your spouse's money, that as well. Now, Scorpios, this is in the opposition of yourself, and it's really about your partner, okay? Now, if you want to say there's some healing with your partner will be having some healing. At the same time, or maybe you will get healing through your partner, or you will have some healing when things are fair and justice, maybe through court. That also went with the 9th house placements too. But through court and harmony, you get some healing when you are being creative. And Sagittarius risings, that's me. We are going to get some healing with the physical body. Hence why I'm excited about herbs and being an herbalist. Not myself, but healing everyone through herbs. But the physical body, your day-to-day routines, maybe even healing with the pet, getting some healing with the pet as well. 5th house placements. This is really Capricorn placements. Now, Capricorn risings. Healing through your children, fertility, being a grandparent, being a mother, being a father. There's some healing there. Really having your true self-expression. There will be some healing there. Really being bold, really being creative, really having fun, like childlike fun. You're going to find a lot of healing through that. And Aquarius risings, there's going to be healing at home, healing with your past, healing through your mother, healing with anything where you feel safe and security, but your physical home as well. And then also Pisces, save the best for last. I always say that. There is healing with you when you are communicating, when you are starting to learn something from the beginning, like early education. There's healing with your community, your siblings, and driving. There's some healing there too. Transportation. All right. So that is what we have. Fear of loss, of financial anxiety, resistance to change, materialism. That is what we have for a nutshell. Oh, I didn't even talk about, I ran on a tangent about the rising signs and horoscopes. Let's talk about the placements, the transits that we're going to see here. And let me turn this to days. Now, when Chiron first enters Aries, immediately it's going to... let me see what I have in here. Oh, immediately it's going to have a square with Pluto. Now, Pluto represents transformation, intensity. It represents rebirth. It represents obsession and power. Okay. In the sign Aquarius, it represents technology, AI, society, innovation, social change, revolution, collective power. Okay, Chiron is all about the money, resources, security, self-worth, food, housing, banking, resources, stability. And when you have these things not getting along, okay, the future not getting along with traditions, wealth distribution, the banking system, the economy having some anxiety. Pluto likes to expose some power there. So Chiron is going to expose the wounds, okay? So there's going to be strong energy with not having resources and someone controlling the resources and controlling it almost makes me think of how like they talk about China and how China, like you have to rub your hand to get your money, you have to have a credit score. That kind of thing is what you get. Class divides, division, resource distribution, economic fairness, access to wealth, financial power, technology replacing traditional systems, food disruptions, transformation, or being advanced with food, like lab grown food kind of energy. AI and is challenging what you value and what you traditional things. Okay. Self-worth crisis. Am I valuable because of who I am? Am I valuable for the future? Am I valuable with the collective? Am I valuable if I don't have freedom of speech? All these things are going to be coming up. Traditional values versus future values. That's going to be an issue. Resource battles. A lot of resources when it comes to the air, navigation, flying, airplanes. That's going to be causing challenges when it comes to healing. Land, energy, natural resources. A new definition of security, the ultimate lesson. For decades, security may have looked like a stable job, owning a house, having predictable income, just stability. And Taurus loves stability, right? And Pluto in Aquarius asks, what does security look like when the world is changing? So get ready for that. That is what we have with this alone. When Chiron enters Taurus, we have that alone with that energy, right? Now, Chiron also is going to square this energy here. Wait, no. Sextile. Why do I have it square? Oh, when Jupiter enters Leo. That's going to be June 30th. When Jupiter enters Leo, June 30th, then Jupiter in Leo, Jupiter is expansive. It's all about growth. In Leo, it's all about, look at me, recognition and confidence and leadership. I want more. I want to grow. I want to be seen. I want to be successful. Children, more children. And there's healing here. And it's not getting along with that energy. Jupiter is very positive, though. It's a great benefic. But when it's not positive, it expands that. So, sticking to traditional things and something with children is going to be a big thing, okay? Also, too, can you receive the blessing? Let me see. Jupiter in Leo likes to get on stage, likes to start the business, likes to launch, is, very passionate. Chiron wants you to slow it down. Okay. Blessings, triggering insecurities, visibility versus what you value. Again, the economy, leadership versus the banks and the economy, arrogance, masking insecurity, overspending, validation, addiction, comparing yourself to others, feeling undeserving of success, chasing an applause instead of having purpose. Okay. Now, Chiron, we're still talking about Chiron. Chiron is going to have an opposition when Venus enters Scorpio. When Venus enters Scorpio, that's going to be in September. And this is going to be some old wounds or feeling like a victim when it comes to your relationships, when it comes to trust issues, attachment patterns, financial healing, self-worth lessons. Get ready for that. On the 18th of September, Chiron will be retrograding and then it will go back into Aries. And that is what we are currently feeling now. So working on your identity, your courage, your independence, your leadership, and your self-confidence. And then it comes back into Taurus April 2027. We'll talk about it again when it happens in 2027. But again, we will have the themes of everything that I talked about. Okay, so that is what we have for, actually, let me pull some cards. Ooh. We got a few cards, okay? Chiron entering Taurus. What it's going to do? It's going to start a new journey for a lot of people. Pack light. Do not bring your insecurities. You got to stand strong. You got to persevere. That's very Taurus. Be stuck. Be fixed, okay? A lot of issues with entrapment and imprisonment and addiction. Aquarius themes here, okay? Working for the people. Thinking of the future. Save your coins. Work on your finances. It's not hoarding, but saving, okay? Use your intuition, practice love, work on the details, work on perfecting your craft, your self-value. Watch out because people are deceitful. They're lying. They're being sneaky. Well, you don't like the way they lie. You don't like the way you're fighting. You don't like the words that's being said. A lot of opportunities with relationships and your intuition and new opportunities with finances, okay? That is what we have with Chiron entering Taurus. And now let's talk about the summer solstice, shall we? Let me drink some water first. I don't have a lot of water in here. So just a little tiny sip. Okay.